for the people watching on the replay, just wanted to talk about medievals some more, just browse some stuff, and if anybody joins in, we can do a little Q&A, I guess. Yeah, so again, for the people watching it on the replay, this will probably be my last stream. Yeah, it will be my last stream before I move. So just gonna do a little more. I think for the new year, I want to do a Saga Warband. I think I mentioned that on the last video, because I think that would be pretty easy for me to put together. Let's see, let's go to Age of Crusades, and then there's also, for rules, I think the great thing is, let me go to Osprey, Lion Rampant. I think for doing Crusades, yeah, they have, let's see, we've got, yeah, Lion Rampant. So I think this might be a good option for doing some skirmish stuff, even if I haven't tried Saga before, so I don't know if I'd like it, but I think Pikeman's Lament is based off Lion Rampant, so I probably like that. And then we've got Outramar. So, I guess this is like the Crusade. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So that would be that'd be cool to do some Crusade stuff. And I could probably do more of that solo stuff potentially. I don't know if I'm going to have enough table space where I'm going, so yeah, we'll see. Plus, I think I could use like use Lion Rampant for doing the 15th century, the late medieval Hungarians. You know, if I had a house rule, like maybe some early muskets in there, I'm sure that wouldn't be too hard. Reconquista is interesting too, because that's where, especially like late Reconquista, that's when the Spanish really started to test out like what. Excuse me. That's when the Spanish started to test out like what became the Tercio. And I think they also used, they used a lot of cannon as well. I think that was one of the big advantages they had over the Andalusian Muslims cities in the south, or Grenada. Yeah, that's what the state was. Need to do a lot more reading, especially on there's a lot of stuff in Islamic history and I've got to work on. But anyway, and medieval stuff I'm sort of iffy on. So that's why I kind of want to do some more medievals, because it's good to learn these things. In college, I did one medieval history course doing my BA, and that was pretty good, but I didn't do much of it in grad school. Unfortunately, there was no medieval courses offered when I was going through it, so yeah, kind of unfortunate. But anyway, I think for my 15th century Hungarians, I'm kind of torn, because I kind of like these foot knights. So maybe I'd mix some of these guys for knights with excuse me, with the Perry's mercenaries for the regular infantry. And I've shown this Perry Yeah, I've shown this set on the channel many, many times. Um, but they're multi-pose, and for stuff like this, especially big, like line infantry, you know, rank and flank stuff, I could see myself getting a little frustrated having to glue this together, but looking at it, it's probably not that bad. I might just be, um, you know, prejudging it a little too much. So, yeah, maybe for the Hungarians, we'll do a mix. Get some foot knights and some, we'll use these guys from Steel Fist just because they look really good. And then these guys for the mercenary, aptly named, the mercenary infantry with the muskets or the arquebuses and crossbowmen and the pikemen. I think that would look pretty good, especially because these castings just look really nice and crisp. Yeah, and I've been doing some research on. I asked somebody knowledgeable about what kind of armor the Hungarians were using in the 15th century, because I think I want to do probably the Corvinus period. So Hunyadi is like mid-century. Well, I can give a little brief timeline. So I think a lot of people are familiar with some of these names. So you have the Crusade of Nicopolis, and that's 1396. And then you have the Varna Crusade in 1444, and that's with Hunyadi. And then you have the Corvinus period, that's like the late 15th century. But then King Corvinus also has to fight some Western wars, which aren't really popular with the nobles. I'm going to read a book about that. But then he's also got to fight the Turks coming up from the south. So, kind of an interesting period in Hungarian history. The late period of the kingdom. But it is something, I think sometimes when we read about these events, especially like with the Ottoman conquests, or the I think even the Muslim conquests in general, like I think people like have it in their head, it's like it happened like overnight, but if you think about it on a human level, it's like, all right, let's say, you were born in like around the time of Nicopolis in the 1390s, you would be like a pretty old person for the time by the Hunyadi's period, basically. And Hungary was still basically a full kingdom at that point, and it wouldn't fall to the Turkish rule until the 1526, really. And you have a civil war in Hungary after that, so there's it splits into Transylvania, the Habsburg sort of dominion, and then obviously the Ottoman zone or area, and then Transylvania is independent. Sometimes they support the Ottomans, sometimes they're on their own. But it was kind of problematic, I think, for the Hungarian people long term, having this divided kingdom. Anyway, I guess it's kind of a aside from miniatures. Okay. We'll see if anybody else signs on. Not bitter for the people listening to the replay. Just it's just nice to have a little bit of an audience, and hopefully, if I get more subscribers, I can have more people in the chat and hanging out, and yeah. Let's see. Yes, I think these look pretty good. I have to learn more about the difference between the mounted yeah, so we have the foot knights, mounted men at arms, and then I think, because I think from what I remember from medieval history, the men at arms were not nobles, I think, or they were retainers. I have to learn more about that. Um, yeah, these Renaissance knights look pretty cool, very ornate. Um, yeah, I think I got off track from talking about that. So the Hungarians under Hunyadi, well, in general, they wore a mix of Gothic and Italian armor. So the more German areas would be Gothic style armor, um, and then and then you also had Italian armor mixed in, sort of up to the knights. And Hunyadi had some is usually depicted with Italian armor, from what my source told me. Oh wow, this is really nice actually. Having these horse drapers, I think I might, or trappers. Yeah, I think I might get some of these for my Ottomans next time I do an Ottoman unit, because this looks a lot. This looks a lot easier to do than trying to freehand like a pattern onto the barding. So yeah, definitely gonna. Excuse me, and sorry about my yawning. I'm definitely gonna keep this in mind the next time I do some Renaissance, or if I get around to doing some medieval cavalry. Hmm. Yeah, these look really, really good. So I think I will order some of these from these guys. And yeah. Open for business. They got some nice looking samurai too, and lands necks. These look nicer than the warlord lands necks, honestly. But the warlord lands necks are easier to buy in bulk, so. Interesting. Yeah, they look really good. Holy Roman Empire. Yeah, he's painted up really nicely. I definitely think for knights I'm going to go with Steel Fist. Knights and men at arms. Oh, you can't get a close up of that. That's too bad. Just going to have to figure out how many packs I would need to make a decent sized unit. Might just go with. Might just try and get some Mantic square bases, because then that way, if I ever want to do Kings of War, I mentioned that I think on one of the other videos, like just getting some of these guys to do the Black Army, but then just basing them on single square bases and then getting the movement trays, because then that way I can just kind of adjust the footprint and the frontage to fit whatever rules I'm playing. Okay, just gonna check the stream real quick. Oh, I guess we had some people and we lost them. Okay. Yeah, so I think that's pretty good. We kind of covered this in the last stream, so just wanted to look at those again. And then looking at Crusades. I think Crusades I want to start with some Saracens. Let's see. Foot Warband, Saracens, Mutawa. That's my best pronunciation. Oh yeah, I think these are the like North African warriors. Like I think I saw in one of their promotional things like it's like Algeria, like modern day Algeria area, I think, and Morocco. Um, yeah, I think the Islamic army that invaded Spain was it was like some Arabs, but it was mostly I think they were Tuareg tribesmen. Um, yeah, somebody maybe in the comments later can fact check me on that, but yeah, that's pretty sure that's what they were, and I think that's what these guys are supposed to be. But uh, as you guys know, I'm a big into the Turks, so I think we'll do Saracens because that's kind of representative of the Turks. Let me just look this up to see. Uh, yeah, but this doesn't explain. Okay, let's go on the Total War Wiki. Um, yeah, what? Oh, yeah, what are they? um, Medieval 2. Okay, so they're religious fanatics. Right, got that, but what are they supposed to be? Um okay. So maybe they have like a informational like page. Um Maybe there's a Saga website that can explain it. Um, okay, I think that's the store. Oh, okay, well, okay, I thought there was like a getting started page or something that would like explain the different um, like factions, but I guess not. Um, but I think those northern those Mutawa or however you pronounce it, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be for like North Africa. But then there's the Moors too, which I'm assume are supposed to be the Moors that invaded Spain. So I don't know. I get embarrassed sometimes when I don't have good answers on these videos. Okay, so we'll talk about this in a second. I wanted to look at some Byzantines too. I think, yeah, but anyway, I think for Saga, probably talked about this in the last video, I'll do some Saracens to represent either some Seljuks or like, uh, what's his name? It's very late. My mind is slow. Saladin. Yeah, even though Saladin was a Kurd, but anyway, a lot of different people, I'm sure, in the Holy Land. There's actually a book that I have yet to read, but it's supposed to be pretty good. Yeah, here we go. Um, yeah, so it's kind of just a different perspective on the Crusades, obviously, from the Arab point of view. So it uses mostly Arab sources. I guess this is the book on tape. Um, anyway, yeah, pretty cool. Got a pretty cool image. Looks like a Seljuk or whatever he's supposed to be charging into a Crusader. Um, hmm. Min Maluf. Yeah, I haven't heard of him in other stuff. Yeah, Muslims were actually pretty weak during the Crusades in the initial part. That's why Saladin was so powerful. Was because the Islamic world was really in bad shape at that time because it was just a bunch of, basically it was a bunch of Turkish warlords. Well, at the beginning of the story, you have, I mean, there's the Arabs that are in charge for several centuries, but then by the Crusades time frame, they've pretty much lost most of the power, and there was the Caliph in Baghdad, but he's pretty much just a hostage to these various like Turkish and Circassian mercenary warlords, basically. So yeah, so the Islamic world's really fragmented during the Crusades, and the Europeans, the Christendom sees an opportunity and says, let's go recapture Jerusalem. So that's why they're really successful. And then, I mean, probably a lot of you subscribe know this stuff, but I'm just wanted to talk about that briefly. The Crusaders could never cut that desert road or the desert kind of route to Syria, so there was always kind of people moving in from the east. Yeah, but I think we'll do. Yeah, these Saracens look pretty. I hate that you can't. I want to be able to like zoom in more and look at the thing close up, but it's this is like not a very good picture. I'm sure there's nobody from Gripping Beast who's gonna see this, but if you guys can just like make the images a little bit bigger, that would be nice. I also am not sure what the difference is between the Crusaders and the Militis Christ. I guess this is like the knightly order. Um, yeah, I guess I'm assuming that's what. Like, if you want to do Knights Hospitaller or something like that. Yeah, it's also a very small image. Anyway, I need to take a look at their sword point. What are they? Visit our live forum. Big battle rules developed with our 28mm figures. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, yeah, we could take a look at this too. Try some sword point. Medieval Warrior Wargaming was doing that for the Battle of 100 Years War Battle, Poitiers. Yeah, I was watching that. It was a pretty good battle report. If you guys aren't want to check that out, I don't really know a lot about the 100 Years War, but that's pretty much all he does on his channel. It's really interesting. Let's see, what do they have for sword point? Let's see, bundles. Let's see what the best sellers are. Dark Ages. Oh, okay, so this is just, play out within 2 hours after setup. I think this is pretty popular, so we might give this a try if we're doing some Crusade stuff, or doing late medieval Hungarians and Ottomans. Anyway, let's see what different starter sets they have. I think this is probably going to be a lot of Saga. Let's see, they have Sword Point. I guess not. Oh, interesting. They have Timurids. Yeah, this would be... actually, this is probably something maybe not many people know about, but the Timurids did, early on in the 15th century, they did actually sack the Ottoman capital, and there was an Ottoman interregnum following that, because what happened was the early Ottomans were taking over from the different Turkish lords in Anatolia at that time, and so the other lords were maybe understandably a little upset about that, so they went to Tamerlane and told him to invade, and he pretty much spanked the Ottomans, but they were able to recover and reconstitute. Probably not a priority project-wise, but I think that would be kind of fun to do as like a convention game, and like maybe do that on the channel in the future. Yeah, I think that would be really cool. I guess, are these 28 mil or 15? Oh, it doesn't say. I'm assuming they're 28. Oh, okay, yeah. So I guess they're all 28 mil then. Yeah. Let me see. Sack of Ankara. I believe that's. Turkic rulers. Yeah, I gotta read up on the Seljuks a little bit more too, because it was their old sort of sultanate that the Ottomans really plugged into, and that's partially why they were really successful. Okay, so the Mongols, and then yeah, here we go. Battle of Ankara, 1402. Okay, so this was only a few years after Nicopolis, so that's interesting. So we've got, let's see, troops. So Timurid army, 32. Okay, well okay, we might have to do this on the channel. This would be a lot of fun to have a bunch of war elephants. Bayezid's army was 85,000. Oh, okay, so it claims he did have some Janissaries at this point, because that's sort of something that's debated, like when the Janissary Corps was formally established. And then, Oh, and he has, okay, so and he had some Serbian vassals. Okay, yeah, actually, I think, again, not a priority, but I think this would be a lot of fun to do a video of this, paint some armies, paint some forces for this, because I could have, actually, that would be perfect, because I could probably use the late medieval knights as the Serbians and the Albanians, and then have them with the Ottomans, and then have the Timurid. I think we're gonna have to do this on the channel at some point. Maybe this will be my project in the new year, because then I can mix and match. I can get the knights, and use those as Hungarians. Just swap out the flags, or do what I do, because I'm a little lazy, I admit, and just not have flags at all. And then have them with the Ottomans, and yeah. Let's see, Tucker 2010. We can take a look at that. Oh, that's not really a. I was gonna say that's not really a real book. I know that sounds kind of condescending, but yeah, I'm gonna have to look into this battle in a little more detail. And I think that would be a lot of fun to word game this out, do some Timurids. I probably wouldn't get like a huge, I'd probably do like, it would be 28 mil, but obviously, but probably do, kind of adjust the scale a little bit just to make it easier to game out. But yeah, I think that would be a really fun idea to do in the new year. Yeah, elephants. Get the elephants and the Timurids. I could probably use a lot of these for Ottomans as well, but I do need to buy more Ottoman cavalry. Anyway, let me see. What comes in here? We've got Spahi, Akinji. I might get this bundle from Assault Group then, because this has the archers and it's got the cavalry. Yeah, I think I might get this. And then mix that in with some knights. I think that would be, yeah, I think that would be, there's my little project, because I'm assuming the Serbians were like somewhat armed like Westerners with plate armor. Let's see if we can find any period pictures and that are a little more appropriate. Let's see. Okay, that looks like that must be Timur's guys, and then I'm assuming that's supposed to be some Ottoman cavalry based on the helmet. Let's see if we can find some other pictures. Let's see this. Yeah, I can't really tell anything. That's too small. Alright, hang on. Let me just check how long we've been going on here. Okay, we've been going on for quite a while. And then, okay, I wish I could. Let's zoom in on this. This is not very good quality. Okay, this is something about 1396. Um, okay, but that definitely looks like that's probably the Timurids, and then you got the Ottoman cavalry, and then those are definitely Janissaries. Interesting. Hmm. Very violent. Hello. Welcome. We're talking about Battle of Ankara. I was just talking about um, I guess the Ottomans had some Serbian levies, and was trying to figure out what maybe they were wearing armor-wise. Um, see if I can attempt to read this. Not gonna, not going to embarrass myself trying to read this. Jawad. Let's look up Battle of Ankara Serbians. Hmm. No, I do not. Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, so I guess they wore, if this is roughly the same period, I guess they wore Western style plate armor. Um, Probably not too many. I don't see too many other pictures of what the Serbian auxiliaries for the Ottomans. Let's see if we can look up Ottoman Serbian troops, maybe. That'll see if we can find that. Okay, this is World War One. Serbian levies. Yeah, this is 19th century. This is. Let's take a look at this. I'm not sure where this is from, what period this is from. Alright, anyway. Yeah, I can't seem to find any pictures of what the Albanian and Serbian allies would have looked like for the Ottomans, so, or levies, I guess that would be the more accurate term, but let's see, what did Stefan Lazarevich, I guess that's how you say that. Maybe there's an image of him. Okay, well this is Nicopolis. This was only a few years. So okay, so it looks like mostly plate mail that they were wearing with the, I guess you call it the tabard, I guess that's what that's called. Leading to the end of the Second Bulgarian Empire. Yeah. Yeah, so I could probably get some 100 Years of War figures or just use those later knights as the European allies. and do that. That'd be fun, yeah. Okay, I think we've spent enough time on that, so we'll definitely put that on the to-do list, especially because I think it would just be a lot of fun to paint some elephants. So, yeah, another thing I wanted to do quickly, just look at, I think another fun scenario maybe would be to do the Arab siege of Byzantium, or I guess it was Constantinople by that point, so if you're not familiar, let's see. Yeah, so this was like early in Islamic expansion. I think this would be kind of cool to do. Let's see. So, boy, there's been a lot of sieges of this city. When was the latest one? Okay, 1453. Man, okay, so there's been multiple. There were several, naval and land. Wow, there was another one. Okay. Yeah, so maybe doing one of these would be interesting. Yeah, because I was looking at these Fireforge Games figures, and they have some pretty cool Byzantines. Yeah, I don't know if I would get super invested in Byzantines, but it would be fun, I think, to do. Maybe for the channel, we'll see, to do some Arabs versus early Umayyads versus the Byzantines, especially just because these models look really nice. I think these are like early Byzantines. So, but I'm not sure. Maybe, maybe, yeah, we'll see. Just another idea I had. But didn't I do want to read this book. It's been on my shelf for a while. Late Byzantine Army, Arms and Society, 1204 to 1453. I actually picked this up because I was interested in reading about the Turkish, Turkish or Turkic, I should say, like mercenaries used by the Byzantines in this period. So might yeah, I'm gonna read this again because I like started, never really finished it. And yeah, I think this is a pretty well received book at the time it came out. I don't remember what year it's from. I think it's like 90s, I think, but pretty good. So yeah, I think I'm gonna read this probably during my my flight coming up. Some light reading on the plane. So yeah, and then yeah, we talked about that. Talked about the Mercenaries box set. I always say I'm gonna get to. Excuse me. I always say I'm gonna get to. But I probably will this year. And just checking on how long we've been going for. Other games, Black Seas, Forgotten Worlds. Yeah, I think, and then let me just look at the Perry. Let's go on the Perry Miniatures website again, just because if I can do that Timurid Battle of Ankara idea, I think that would be a lot of fun. So I just want to look at their options as far as that goes. 14, 15. I think this would probably be close enough, I'm guessing, because I don't really think that there was huge, like, oh, I guess this is Longbowmen, so probably want to get the French set, or, well, Agincourt Foot Knights. Yeah, I'm going to read up on this maybe to see what kind of figures I would need to represent those Albanian and Serbian troops that were fought with the Ottomans. Plus, I just think that would be really cool visually to have, the elephants charging into like a bunch of knights and then janissaries, foot janissaries. Yeah. Okay, so these look a bit different than the later knights for doing late medieval Hungarians. But that's okay, especially because I think for the Battle of Ankara, I'd probably want more Ottomans anyway, and it would give me an excuse to buy more Ottomans that I could also use for my 16th century stuff. So, yeah, let's just see if there's anything else about that anywhere. Let's see what's on this site. This just has a bunch of stuff about. That's a battle diagram. Excuse me. This is a. I'm not sure what that is. I was hoping that was maybe a. Oh, here we go. This is a good. Seems like it's a pretty good source. Let's see. Okay, so this is from a autobiographical memoirs of Emperor Timur, Mental Translation Committee, 1830. Just as a quick aside, I've read some of these texts, and man, they did so much work in the 19th century. All these translations, I mean, it's really incredible. Especially because a lot of these British guys, I mean, they were like going to the east, to the Orient. I mean, like learning these languages just by like hanging out with. I was reading a story of one guy recently just about how he learned I think he learned Arabic or some other like dialect that was used in that part of the world, like just from living with these sheep herders basically for several months. Pretty amazing. Definitely probably not something that can happen anymore. Anyway, but okay, so this gives an account from Timur's point of view. I'm gonna have to see if I can track this text down and yeah, so there's definitely been reprints of it, and there's one in archive, so I'll definitely download that later. Let's see, just reading this quickly. Oh, okay, and then there's another account, Ambassador, Embassy to Tamerlane. this might be better because this probably gives a different perspective. Okay, so there are quite a few texts out there. So this embassy to Tamerlane and this Mulfasat Timuri. Yeah, interesting. Okay. I'll just take a look at this page real quick. 1992, academic. Interesting. Let's see what they've been doing lately. Recent articles and primary sources. They have a journal. Okay. Alright, this isn't really relevant to the channel, so I'll take a look at this later. Oh, okay, cool. So this actually might be helpful for some people. So they've got a whole page of primary sources here. Bubbers captured Samarkand, Japan. Oh, they have... I'd like to read this one. Battle of Pavia, 1525. I wonder if there's a way to... I guess, where do they have some of these that are not linked? Oh, old pages to the new system. Oh, okay. So... Oh, wow, okay, so they've got all different kinds of primary sources. So... yeah, this might be helpful. I'm glad I found... This is why I do these streams, because it's kind of stream of consciousness, so we can learn things like this. I will put this in the description on the cut-up version. Oh, Muslim accounts of warfare in Al Angelus. That's interesting. Accounts of the Rus from Ibn al-Athir. 14th century warfare, naval contract with the papacy against the Turks, siege of Florence. Alright, neat. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the video description later. And I'll read this later. Oh, cool. So, learned something new. That's fun. Book reviews. Let's see, maybe if they have any interesting articles. Oh, okay, so they've got a lot of stuff that's reprinted. Byzantines in the First Crusade. Vikings in Brittany. Book introductions. Wow, they've got quite a lot of material here. Awesome. Okay, wait, was that a Hungarian? Muslim humanist, Polish, Lithuania. Oh, okay, so that's earlier, but still interesting. Okay, nice. Alright, well, we'll spend a ton of time flipping through that, but... yeah, so potentially I think probably stick with the Black Army as the primary project and maybe just use those knights to stand in for the levies, and then excuse me, gonna get more Ottomans and do that. Oh, nope, don't want that. Alright. Let's take a look how long we've been going for here. Had a few people go in and out. That's okay. Yeah, alright. Well, so I think... Let's see, we've been going for a while. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and wrap that up for now. Well, until the next one, I guess. I was hoping more people would be able to make it, but it is a Wednesday evening and kind of a late night, so people have to work. So I understand that, no problem there. Is there anything else I wanted to touch on? I think that was pretty much it. Mostly, I'm just glad I learned that they have Timurids. Yeah, so that was pretty cool from Fireforge Miniatures. So that will be, I think that would be a fun project to do, and just to take a look at them again. I think I'd probably use them as guys for my Ottomans as well. Maybe if I could use them as like levies potentially. Where did we find those? El Cid. Medieval. Let's see, is it in the Islam section? No. Other games. Where did I? Classical, maybe? Where is it? 100 Years' War, War of the Roses. Actually, I'll just take a look at these real quick for what they have. Oh, okay, yeah, we've looked at this in the other stream for doing, the original medieval stream. Oh, no, that was on the Gripping Beast website. Yeah, that was Pole March Timurids. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right, okay. Yeah, I could probably use these for more Tatars in my Ottoman army as well. Probably couldn't use these for Ottomans because they have hand weapons. Timurid elephant, Timurid officers. And these I could potentially use as maybe feudal Ottoman cavalry. So I don't think that they change too much, but yeah, I mean, could probably work them in as this feudal Spahi. Yeah, I just really think it would be cool to have an elephant, big Timurid elephant and Timurid medium. Let's take a look. Yeah, these guys I could use them as feudal Ottoman cavalry as well, so let me see if they have maybe just Pole March miniatures. Badger Games, let's see. Oh, okay, so these are just, they're, okay. Yeah, but, yeah, I could definitely use these for later Ottoman feudal cavalry. And then that'd be fun for doing Battle of Ankara, so... Alright, yeah, I think we'll just wrap it up there. I'm just going to copy this so I can paste it in the video description. Yeah, okay, so I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. For those of you people that did log on, thanks for listening for a little bit. And for you guys in the replay, hope you like this. And I usually gonna cut down this replay a bit, I think, to cut out the beginning. And yeah, so I hope you all liked it, and I will talk to you on the next video.